Alright, g'day everybody, it's the Doga! Today's video celebrates the 40th anniversary of AC/DC's 1981 album, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, which was released today, 40 years ago, internationally on November the 23rd, 1981. It is currently November 23rd here in Australia, although it might still be the 22nd for the international viewers that may watch right now. However, the Australian release had to be delayed by 2 weeks to December 7th for reasons unknown. Anyway, the album, of course, has 10 songs. For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, Put the Finger on You, Let's Get It Up, Snowballed. Oops, I forgot Inject the Venom. Then Snowballed after that, my mistake. And then Evil Walks, COD, Breaking the Rules, Night of the Long Knives, and Spellbound. Look at me, I accidentally skipped one song. Anyway, this video will be similar to the Dirty Deeds one I did back in September. It'll be showing off every copy of For Those About to Rock that I own in LP, cassette, and CD format. If you're a regular viewer to this channel, you may have already seen some of these, but not all of them. This is every copy I have. Bar one, because one of them is currently in another room and is currently framed. But, let's start from the beginning. This is the original Australian pressing of the album. Look on the back here. Oh no, I grabbed the wrong one. This is my Australian pressing, my mistake. I grabbed the wrong one. This is the Australian pressing. Catalogue number there, APLP 053, and of course, Albert Productions credits down the bottom here. And of course, the gatefold interior is exactly the same worldwide, so I will just show it just the one time here. I'm sure you've all seen this before if you've got a copy of the album. And Cliff Williams has been cut out slightly, hang on, there he is. Okay. So, on December 7, 1981, the Australian fans would have picked up their copy 2 weeks later than everywhere else. And this is the version they would have gotten. Simple little label here, red with the yellow border around it that had made its Australian debut the previous year on Back in Black of all albums. And side 2 here as well. And of course, if you bought the album, you will notice that it also came with an insert for the Volume 1 Bon Scott era box set. This is the insert itself. This is legitimate. This is no reprint. This is the real deal. I do have a copy of this. I have shown it off in a previous video. Be sure to check that out if you have not done so far. Okay. I have 2 original pressings, but as I said, one of them is currently in an album frame in my spare bedroom. I have a reissue of For Those About to Rock as well. Another Australian pressing. This one's pretty identical, save for the label. This one comes from my copy of the Volume 2 box set released in 1987. Although, to tell the truth, I actually obtained my original pressing when I bought the box, and I had bought this one separately a few years prior, so I just swapped them over. Put the reissue into the box and put the original separately. Okay, those are my 2 Australian pressings of the album. I have 4 international copies of the album. Let's start with this Brazilian copy of the album, if I can just find the correct one. I'm pulling out the wrong one here. There we go. Do my best to try and prepare for these. This Brazilian version has a different catalogue number, as shown up here. And slightly different credits there. I think that's in Portuguese down there. Very fortunate to find this copy. I've not seen it entered on Discogs, but this is definitely Brazilian based on everything I've encountered otherwise. At least the seller told me it was anyway. And other side. Interesting font for the titles there, I noticed. Very good. I've got the fan on because it's kind of warm in here. Okay, on to the next copy of the album. This one's from Japan. This is the only Japanese LP that I own. This one has no catalogue number up at the top. And just to prove that. And identical credits down the bottom here. This one comes with an insert as well, which pretty much shows off lyrics and stuff. We've got some Japanese text here. Quite a number of screw-ups, actually, with the lyrics on the right-hand side and on the opposite side as well. I'm guessing these lyrics were... Okay. No, I can't read it. All lyrics transcribed by Linda Henrik. That's what it said. Unfortunately, she obviously made a few screw-ups, but that's alright. And we're on the Atlantic Brown label from this particular era. And side 2. I haven't come across any other Japanese LPs in my ongoing searches over the years, but I've tried. Okay, we have one from the United Kingdom now. Say hello to everybody living and watching this from the United Kingdom, whether you're in England or wherever you are. Album code up here, K50851. And generic credits down the bottom here. This is one of a few British albums I own. The patent number mentioned on the white insert sleeve there. And there is, of course, a version that exists with the red and green label, but it is super rare. And instead, this one is the more familiar brown label. Rather bland looking font compared to the Australian and Brazil and Japanese one, actually. Alright, there's that one. And we also have one from the United States. That's right, an American pressing as well. This version is identical in some parts. There's the writing down the bottom here with the catalogue number. So 40 years ago, if you lived over in America, anybody would have probably picked up this copy as their very first copy. And somehow it made its way to here in Australia. And let's get out the LP. And side 1 is here. And side 2. Excellent. That is those ones done. Now for that copy I picked up by mistake. Where did I put it? Over here. This is the remaster. That was the first copy on the show by mistake. But yeah. Columbia Records remaster from the mid-2000s. As shown here. Remastered by the late George Marino at Sterling Sound. The insert here. Identical to the 2003 reissues booklet as well. And the side as well. Brian Johnson partially covered over there by mistake. Alright, this is the side 1 label. And of course, we have side 2. do have an almost complete set. If not, I do have a complete set of these remasters on vinyl. Just for collector's sake, I don't play them. I know they've been... Many people have said that they sound terrible, but I don't really care. I do have one single off the album, but it's the only one I have. This is the UK 12-inch single, Let's Get It Up, with Back in Black and TNT from December 81. Brian Johnson's face has been cut off due to the intense light. And there's the back cover, showing that dreadful high voltage and even more dreadful Dirty Deeds cover. Why couldn't you just release the Australian versions over in the UK? At least when it came to Dirty Deeds, anyway. Okay, on to the side one label. And of course, on the flip side, you can find these performances on both Plug Me In Disc 2 and visual format, and on the live disc of Backtracks from 2009. Right, those are all the vinyl copies, except for the one that's currently in my spare bedroom, framed. Now we move on to cassette copies of the album. I currently own 4 of them, although one is broken, unfortunately, for reasons I will not get into on here. This is the original 1981 Australian cassette. And track listing here. Let's pull it out. And this is had to be taped back together because it was a bit damaged, unfortunately. And unfortunately the holes are slightly misaligned and I've not been able to get it to play properly. Which is a real shame though, because I would have probably played this instead of a CD when I gave the album a play this morning. Right, I do have a couple more here. This copy is unfortunately broken, there's no tape inside. Some ferocious temper as a result. There's that version, I still keep it because it's still a cassette case, that's all it is really. And I also have another one. This is my 3rd Australian copy of the cassette. Excellent. Put this away again. This is always so difficult. There we go. And I also have a European cassette that was manufactured in Germany. This one here may appear similar to some British or German copies, but this is strictly from Europe. Okay. Side 1 here for this side. And side 2. Excellent. Alright, those are all the cassette copies I own. Now we move on to CD copies. Let's start with the 1989 Australian CBS Distronic CD. This particular version is known for having a mastering error during the title track towards the end of the song, where it sort of glitches up one side of the audio and then the other side, and then it fixes itself again. I've had this particular CD for about 6 or 7 years. I honestly have lost track of time. And inside as well, got the CD itself. Still sounds quite good actually. Okay, now we move on to the 1995 Australian remaster done by Ted Jensen. This one here. Rear cover here. Got lyrics inside. Cover. Let's have a brief look at these. Those are pretty much all the lyrics to the album songs. All there. That way again. And onto, if this will stop getting stuck, the disc itself. There is an identical version that was made in the UK that uses pretty much almost an identical looking disc, but not quite the same though. Got another copy, courtesy of the mid-90s Power Age For Those About to Rock box set that was released here. This particular box is notoriously hard to find. I managed to get it just earlier this year for about $50 at my usual record store in Carindale. And we'll just show only the For Those About to Rock disc. If you're a regular viewer to this channel, you would have seen the whole box, including the Power Age disc as well. Again, this uses Ted Jensen's 1990s remaster. Okay, now we move on to 2 copies of George Marino's remaster. This one's a bit broken, unfortunately. This one's from... I think I got this in Christmas 2005, I think. Unfortunately, it is in very poor condition because I was still only a kid back then and didn't exactly look after it very well. It's in very, very poor condition. But I did eventually replace it with another copy a couple of years later. This one's got the slipcase. And the disc itself. Unfortunately, I ended up losing the front cover of this one, unfortunately. So I've only got just the disc. Right, those are all the copies of the album. There is one bonus item, which I did show off earlier on my channel previously. This is the songbook. Those About to Rock songbook. That I think came out in 1982, sometime after the album came out. This is a... let's have a look-see. Hanlon's Music Centre, Kampalabar Park Shopping Centre. Okay, so that's where this was purchased from. So it obviously must have got imported because there was no official release of this here. So let's have a look-see, shall we? This is going to be difficult. Got to really try and straighten stuff up here. Got all the songs and all the tablatures and stuff. We've got lyrics and stuff as well. Alright. Let's get it up. Got a little bit of a bio here on the left-hand side. It's just typical bio from that era, unfortunately. Still got some nice stuff in here, though. And Snowballed there. Nice images here on the right of Angus and Brian with no cap on. We do have some pictures here, some rather rare ones I've not seen anywhere else, especially these ones here. I've not seen them anywhere apart from this. Phil Rudd looking mighty good behind the drum kit there. And of course, the picture from the gatefold cover. I'm right up close to the iPad here, so if I sound a bit loud, I apologise for that. And there's the picture that was used for the Let's Get It Up 12-inch single we showed a moment ago. Okay, the rest of these here. More rare black and white pictures here. Don't know if that white strip is a misprint or not. Again, this is the only copy I've ever seen of this, and I don't know if that's universal or not. I'd say it probably is. Pardon me. That's a good picture, that one. the back. That is it. That is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you have not done already. We're still 2 away from hitting 100. That is if you're willing to subscribe, that is. No pressure. And if you've got a copy of For Those About to Rock, doesn't matter what format it is, be sure to play it, and play it loud. Until next time, this is the Doga saying have a great day, everybody. And for those about to rock, we salute you. We shall see you again.